Have you ever felt an emotion rise inside you, like a wave? Anger that explodes over nothing. Sadness that crushes you for no reason. Fear that stops you from acting. In a moment, you can't control anything anymore. You say or do things you regret afterwards. And you ask yourself, why do I react like that? Am I too sensitive? Can I change? Today, we're going to talk about that. Controlling your emotions is not about suppressing them. It's not about becoming a robot. It's about learning to welcome them, to understand them, and not to let them take the wheel, without judgment, with simple keys, and with science.
George, I recognize myself so much in that. The other day at work, a colleague made a slightly critical remark. Nothing mean. But in 2 seconds, I felt my heart race, my cheeks turn red, and I answered in a sharp, almost aggressive way. Afterwards, I felt stupid. Why can't I keep my calm? Are some people just more emotional than others?
That's a very good question, Emma. And the answer is both simple and surprising. Everyone has emotions. It's normal. It's human. But what makes the difference is not having strong emotions or not. It's what you do with them. Someone who always seems calm does not feel less anger or fear than others. They just learn to regulate their response. According to psychologist Lisa Feldman Barrett, emotions are not automatic reactions that we suffer. They are constructions of our brain. And the good news is, we can learn to construct them differently. It's not an innate talent, it's a skill.
So if it's not innate, why do I react so fast? I don't even have time to think before my mouth has already spoken.
Because your brain has a very old alarm system called the amygdala. The amygdala is like a nervous security guard. As soon as it detects a threat, a criticism, a look, a tone of voice, it sends an alarm signal. In a fraction of a second, your body prepares to defend itself. Heart beats faster, muscles tense, breath quickens. This is called the fight or flight reaction. The problem is, this alarm goes off even when there's no real danger. A colleague criticizing your work is not a saber-toothed tiger, but your brain reacts as if it were. And you find yourself fighting with hurtful words or fleeing by shutting down in silence.
So my problem is not the emotion itself, but that I react too fast?
Exactly. Emotion is useful. Anger can defend you. Fear can protect you. Sadness can help you mourn something. But when you react immediately, without giving your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, time to take over, you become a slave to your emotion. The goal is not to turn off the emotion. It's to create a small space between the rising emotion and your response. A space of a few seconds, just enough to choose how to act.
A space of a few seconds? That seems so short, but in the moment I can't find it.
Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine your emotions are waves. You can't stop the waves from coming. That's how the ocean is. Sometimes waves are small, sometimes they're huge. What you can do is learn to surf. The bad surfer is the one who fights the wave. They try to push it away, run from it, or ignore it. Result: the wave sweeps them away and throws them onto the rocks. The good surfer, on the other hand, watches the wave come. They accept it, they get on top of it, and they let the wave carry them without trying to control it completely. Gradually, the wave calms down, and the surfer reaches the shore, calm and proud.
So we shouldn't fight the emotion, but welcome it and let it pass?
Exactly. That's the basic principle of emotion regulation. Psychologists call it acceptance. Accepting doesn't mean liking or approving. Accepting means this emotion is here for now. It's not going to kill me. I'm not going to act under its control. I'm going to watch it pass. And with a little practice, the wave calms down much faster than you think. Usually, an intense emotion lasts only 90 seconds. 90 seconds. That's how long it takes for stress chemicals to dissipate from your blood. If you still feel angry after 90 seconds, it's no longer the initial emotion. It's you feeding it with your thoughts.
Only 90 seconds? Then why can I stay angry for hours, even days?
Because you do what everyone does by mistake. You ruminate. You tell yourself the story over and over. He said that. It's unfair. Why does he always do that? Every time you replay the event in your head, you trigger the alarm again. Then the emotion lasts much longer than 90 seconds. The most common mistake is believing that we need to suppress negative emotions. Many people think, I shouldn't be angry. I shouldn't be sad. That's weak. So they fight. They repress. They pretend nothing happened. But repressing an emotion is like pushing a ball underwater. It will eventually come back up, stronger, and explode in your face one day.
So, we shouldn't fight, but we also shouldn't explode. What is the right response?
The right response is what psychologists call regulation, not suppression. Regulation is letting the emotion be there, but without letting it decide your actions. It's acknowledging, I am angry. Okay, I'm going to breathe 3 times, I'm going to step away for 5 minutes, and then I'll decide what to say. That's very different from saying, I'm not angry, suppression, or saying, I'm going to yell at them, impulsive reaction. Regulation is the middle path.
But can my brain really learn to regulate my emotions better? Or am I stuck with my temperament?
This is where science is beautiful, Emma. For a long time, people thought the emotional brain was fixed. That if you were angry or anxious, you would stay that way for life. That's false. We know today that the brain changes all the time. That's neuroplasticity. Every time you practice a new way of reacting, you create new connections between neurons. And the connections you don't use weaken. Concretely, the more you train yourself to pause between the emotion and the action, the faster and more natural that pause becomes. The amygdala activates less strongly. The prefrontal cortex, the seat of control, takes over faster. It's like a muscle. At first, you are weak, but with repetition, you become stronger.
So even someone who has always reacted impulsively can change?
Yes. It's not easy. It takes practice. But it's possible. Therapies like mindfulness and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, have proven effective. They literally change the structure of the brain. A study by Harvard neuroscientists showed that 8 weeks of mindfulness meditation reduced the size of the amygdala, the fear area, and increased the density of the prefrontal cortex. The brain is not a prison. It's a garden, and you can cultivate it.
Do you have some quotes to inspire me? I like having short phrases to repeat to myself.
Of course. Let's start with a very old one. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "You are not troubled by things, but by the judgment you place on them." That's deep. What makes you angry is not the event. It's the story you tell yourself about the event. If you change your judgment, the emotion changes. Next, Daniel Goleman, the psychologist who popularized emotional intelligence, says, "Those who cannot master their emotions master their lives poorly." But he immediately adds, "The good news is that emotional intelligence can be learned." And finally, John Kabat-Zinn, the father of modern mindfulness, gives a very practical phrase. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. That's exactly our metaphor.
Marcus Aurelius? That's powerful. Troubled by judgment, not by the thing. I'll try to remember that next time my colleague criticizes me. Let's go back to my example. My colleague says, "You could have done that report better." My judgment is, he's criticizing me. He doesn't respect me. He's mean. And that makes me angry. How do I change my judgment?
First, don't try to change your judgment immediately. That would be too hard. The first step is just to notice the judgment. Tell yourself, I'm telling myself that he doesn't respect me. This simple awareness creates a small space. Then you can ask yourself 3 questions. First question, is this 100% true? Did he actually say, "You're useless"? No, he said. You could have done better. Second question, what other explanation is possible? Maybe he's stressed. Maybe he wants to help you, but doesn't know how to say it. Maybe he didn't sleep well. Third question, what response will make me proud in an hour? Do I want to be proud that I yelled or that I answered calmly? By asking yourself these 3 questions, you go from automatic reaction to chosen response.
I'll try. Next time, I'll breathe, ask myself these 3 questions, and only answer after. It's not easy, but it seems logical.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect. If you fail once, it's okay. What matters is to start again. Every time you practice, you strengthen the new pathway in your brain. The old pathway, explosive anger, will weaken, little by little.
I would like a simple method to follow, like a list of steps. Can you give me one?
With pleasure. I call it the calmer method. Each letter corresponds to an action. It's inspired by breathing techniques, mindfulness, and CBT. You can use it in any emotional situation. C. Cut the immediate reaction. As soon as you feel the emotion rise, stop. Don't speak, don't act, cut. Say to yourself internally, stop. That's the pause button. A. Accept the emotion without judgment. Don't say it's wrong to be angry. Just say, anger is here. Okay. Give it a name. Anger, fear, sadness, frustration. Naming the emotion already diffuses it a little. L. Let go with your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. The long exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the one that calms. Do this 3 times. M. Make distance from your thoughts. Don't believe everything your brain tells you. Your thought, "he's mean," is not a fact. It's an interpretation. Say to yourself, I notice that I have the thought, that this little phrase, I notice, that creates distance. E. Engage in a useful action. Now that you are calmer, ask yourself, what is useful to do? Speak calmly, step away, write, do nothing? Choose an action that serves your interest, not the emotion. R. Remember that it passes. Repeat to yourself, this emotion is temporary. It will fade. I've experienced it before. Emotion is like a cloud. It passes.
Calmer. That's easy to remember. Cut, accept, let go, make distance, engage, remember. I'll write it on a sticky note.
Do that and practice when you are calm. The more you repeat the method in quiet moments, the more natural it will be in difficult moments. It's like a firefighter training before the fire.
Does the calmer method work for all emotions? Fear, sadness, shame?
Yes, the principle is the same. but each emotion has its own little particularity. Let's take fear. Fear is an alarm. With calmer, you welcome the fear, you breathe, but the engage in a useful action step is crucial. Often, fear pushes you to flee, but sometimes fleeing strengthens the fear. The useful action might be to take one small step toward what scares you, not backward. For sadness, it's different. Sadness needs to be expressed, not fought. Welcoming sadness means accepting to cry if needed. The useful action could be calling a friend or writing in a journal. For shame, it's more delicate. Shame tells you, you are bad. Here, the make distance from your thoughts step is very important. Tell yourself, I made a mistake, but I am not a mistake. And the useful action is often to talk to someone kind. Shame dies in the light.
I see. So the method is the same, but the useful action changes depending on the emotion.
Exactly. Emotional intelligence is knowing which emotion is present and what response is appropriate. The same situation can provoke different emotions in different people, and that's normal.
There's something that bothers me a bit. When I say I am angry, I feel like the anger defines me, as if I am an angry person.
That's an excellent point. And it's a language trap. Saying, I am angry, is different from saying, I feel anger. The first sentence identifies the emotion with you. The second says, the emotion is a visitor. You are the house. The emotion comes in, makes noise, then leaves. The house remains. Your identity is not an angry person. It's a person who sometimes feels anger. There's a huge difference. When you change your language, you change your reality. Try saying, I notice anger in me right now. You'll see, it frees you.
So, I am not my emotions. I am the one who observes them.
Yes. And that's a position of power. You are not a victim of your emotions. You are a person learning to dance with them. Sometimes you stumble. That's human. But every step counts. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, says, you do not rise to the level of your expectations. You fall to the level of your systems. Your system is your Calmer method. Improve your system, and your reactions will improve.
George, I've understood many things. Emotions are not enemies. They are signals. My problem is not having them. It's reacting to them too fast. And I can learn to create a pause. With the Calmer method, with practice, with neuroplasticity.
Then remember this, Emma. Controlling your emotions is not about smothering them. It's about welcoming them without obeying them. It's about recognizing the wave without letting it knock you over. It's about creating a space between the stimulus and the response. In that space lies your freedom. At first, you'll feel like you can't do it. You'll crack. You'll shout. You'll cry. That's okay. Every time you get back up, you strengthen the new pathway. One day, almost without realizing it, you'll breathe before you speak. You'll smile instead of getting angry. You'll choose instead of reacting. That day, you'll know you have grown. Not because you killed your emotions, but because you learned to live in peace with them.
I'm going to start tonight. When I feel anger rising, I'll say stop. I'll breathe. I'll name the emotion. I'll ask myself what action will make me proud. I won't be perfect, but I'll be on the way.
That's the key. The journey, not perfection. And remember, if some emotions become too heavy, too frequent, too painful, it's not shameful to ask for help. A psychologist can teach you even more powerful techniques. Strength is not handling everything alone. Strength is knowing when to reach out.